At Amersham International, radioactive products are prepared and packaged not only in accordance with the regulations, but to the company's own higher standards of safety. Small bottles are filled with radioactive pharmaceuticals and then sealed. The radioactivity is checked and recorded. Depending on the level of radioactivity and type of radiation, the bottle may then be enclosed in a lead pot of a thickness appropriate to the amount and type of radiation emitted. The lead pot may now be inspected briefly. The lid of the pot is secured and a label is attached. The document which details the contents accompanies the pot. The pot is placed in a metal can or similar container with carefully designed packing to absorb shock and pads which are absorbent enough to take up twice the volume of the liquid in the bottle should it escape. The can is labelled and the lid is sealed. The can is now placed in its transport container, strong enough to withstand the treatment it's likely to receive in transit, and the finished package can be prepared for dispatch. The whole package is researched and designed to accommodate the characteristics of the contents, to incorporate the basic safety principles that apply to packaging: shielding, distance, and containment, and to comply with both the regulations and the stringent standards imposed by the company. Tests must be carried out to make sure that packages meet the required specifications. These packages, which for the tests contain inactive materials, are Type A packages, a type that will be referred to later. There are many tests, and they include drop tests from 9 meters and penetration tests. Proper packaging ensures that even after such punishing treatment, the contents are not released. There are other tests, compression tests, and this water spray test. Returning to the production line, the regulations stipulate that every package of radioactive material should carry a label that clearly identifies the contents, classifies the package, and shows the principal radioactive nuclide and activity. There are 3 basic types of packaging: accepted, Type A, and Type B. Accepted packages, previously known as exempt, don't require any special external labeling, as the level of radiation and the amount of radioactivity are so low, no hazard is likely to arise. Type A packages are categorized according to the level of radiation that they emit. A Category 1 package has a white label, which is used when the radiation level is low enough for there to be few restrictions on handling and storage. Higher levels of radiation are indicated by the use of 2 yellow labels: Category 2 and Category 3 for the higher allowable radiation intensities. Exposure to Category 2 and 3 packages should be kept to the minimum. Type B packages may contain larger amounts of radioactivity and are therefore designed and tested to survive severe transport accidents. Type B packages are labelled in the same way as Type A. It's important to realize that the size and shape of a package is no indication of the radiation that it emits. The labels are the only true guide. For example, the larger package here is in a lower category than the smaller. To summarize, we have accepted or exempt packages which require no special labeling, Type A and B packages which are in 3 categories. Category 1, where the radiation level is low, has a white label. Categories 2 and 3, where the radiation levels are higher, have yellow labels. Yellow Category 2 and 3 packages also show the transport index, abbreviated to TI, which indicates the amount of radiation at 1 meter from the external surface of the package. The allowable radiation level of white Category 1 packages is too low to be sensibly measured, so a TI is not shown. For yellow Categories 2 and 3, the TI is limited to 10 and 100 microsieverts an hour, respectively. 10 microsieverts an hour is equivalent to a transport index of 1. At Amersham, most of the products shipped have low levels of radioactivity and are classified as accepted, but some are of Type A and a few of Type B. For every package, there's careful assessment of its active contents and the radiation emitted to determine its packaging and labelling in accordance with the regulations. This chart shows an example of some of the packaging and labelling requirements for iodine 131, as required by IAEA 1985 Safety Series number 6. As the activity and surface dose rate increase, packaging requirements become more demanding, and the category of the label changes from white 1 through yellow 2 to yellow 3. Note the large difference between the amount of activity allowed in accepted packages compared with that allowed in Type A. Man-made radiation is physically no different from the natural background radiation to which we are normally exposed in the course of our lives. When the regulations are correctly applied and radioactive materials properly packaged and transported, the levels of radiation emitted are minimized. Consequently, the average occupational dose received by transport workers has been shown to be very small. Another vitally important aspect of the transport of radioactive materials is documentation. Every consignment must be accompanied by the shipper's declaration, sometimes known as the Dangerous Goods Transport Document. This document provides information on the package contents and confirms that the package has been packed and labelled in accordance with the relevant transport mode regulations. When a package is complete, it's handed over with its documents to the carrier or freight agent, and it starts the first stage of its journey. If there are any delays, the package must be stored in accordance with the regulations, and it must only be opened by a qualified person in a suitable area. The basic rule for storage is that the sum of all the individual package transport indices should not normally exceed a total of 50, and packages with a yellow label should be kept well away from people and photographic materials. If some accidental damage is caused to a package containing radioactive materials, don't touch it. Mark the spot to warn others away, and report the incident immediately to someone in authority, so that it can be dealt with properly. Checks for contamination should always be made by a qualified health physicist. However, an incident of the type shown here has never resulted in the release of radioactive materials from Amersham packages. Amersham has an excellent safety record, extending over more than 20 years. This confirms the packaging concepts on which the transport regulations are based, which are enhanced by in-house design, research, and practice. Immense care is taken at Amersham to design and construct containers and packaging which will protect all those who handle its products and to ensure that the products arrive intact and in good condition. An understanding of the nature of radioactive products and the principles which underlie the safety regulations will go a long way towards safeguarding the interests of the many users of radioactive materials, including doctors and patients, who rely on advancing technology to diagnose and prevent disease and prolong life.